Remainers in the House of Lords have their last attempt to frustrate Brexit, Momentum and Labour candidates clash, and the European Union try to ban anything that they see. Right, we're only 2 weeks away till we actually get Brexit done, and last week we had the House of Commons approving the Brexit Bill, and this week we are having the debate in the House of Lords. Now, this is the stage where the House of Lords scrutinise the bill, and if they want to have any amendments, they send it back or not, basically delay the process. So that we have the Remainers or the Remoaners in the House of Lords from both parties, especially Labour, going around and having long rants in the House of Lords. Yesterday was a very ridiculous day in the House of Lords. One of them is Baroness Hayter. Yeah, her name is literally Hayter, but with a Y. She went on a massive rant about the Brexit bill. Now, her problem apparently was that the bill isn't perfect. I mean, how perfect or imperfect does it have to be? We are leaving the European Union. The whole thing should have just been one line: withdrawing. But now we have this complicated withdrawal agreement. So basically, Baroness Hayter went on this rant saying this is a very poor Brexit bill. This basically was her excuse to use that line to basically say that Brexit shouldn't happen. And she said there's not enough time to debate this. Seriously, we've had all this time to debate this. Now she's now complaining about timing. So this is exactly the speech that she made.
Before us, we have a very poor bill, and one being rushed through Parliament. Perhaps understandably rushed, as the 31st of January is fast approaching. But it's not just being rushed, but it's being rammed through. The government determined to allow no changes whatsoever, even if deficiencies are identified. This is both stupid, as it'll mean corrections having to be made later, but also arrogant, with scant regard to our normal democratic method of lawmaking.
But it's not just Labour peers. You have Lord Greaves from the Liberal Democrats, another Remoaner who went on another rant in the House of Lords, claiming some ridiculous stuff. One was about the fact that the people of this country are crying. They're crying to sleep, basically, every night. And he's saying that Brexit is going to destroy everything and people are stupid. The usual thing that you've heard many times in the past. And so this is the situation we have with Labour and Liberal Democrat peers trying to have long speeches in the House of Lords and to complain about the Brexit process, even though I don't understand. It's getting tiring now, but this is their last attempt.
Like this, it will not do any good in this country for bringing the country together and for healing the wounds, the very serious wounds that have been caused by the whole Brexit debate and which go on. There are many, many people in this country, my lords, who are not full of paroxysms of joy, or otherwise, but who are full of dismay, distress. People are moaning. People are crying at night when they go to sleep. They're crying in the morning when they wake up, and all they get from the unfeeling, hard-headed Tories is moans. They are feeling a sense of loss, which is akin to bereavement, and a grieving process has only just begun.
In the words of Boris Johnson, I've never heard such humbug in my entire life. But hopefully we're going to pass this House of Lords stage and go back and basically leave the EU in peace. But apart from this, you have the Labour leadership election, and the candidates are trying to out-Remain each other and out-socialist each other, up to a point where the whole race is now becoming ridiculous. And Momentum, which is basically the hardcore activist base of the Labour Party, sent out a ballot and kind of basically to question their members to I think they sent it to about 40,000, over 40,000 Labour members about the candidates. Now, what they did, instead of having all the candidates there, they basically just had Rebecca Long-Bailey and Angela Rayner, and it just recommended everyone to vote for those two, obviously. So in this so-called ballot, it says that while it is urgent that left candidates receive the support that they need, we feel that members must be balloted on such an important issue. They unanimously recommend that our movement back Rebecca Long-Bailey for leader and Angela Rayner for deputy leader. And they said that we need a leader and deputy who trust each other, work well together, and will unite our party in opposition to the Tories. Now, the problem with this extremely biased ballot was that even their members and followers kicked off. They said, you can't really treat the whole party like this. What about the other candidates? You didn't mention any of them. This is some of the feedbacks that they received. One person said that the right recommendations for sure, but if you've made the decision to hold a membership ballot, the ballot should include all current candidates, surely. Such a strong recommendation could still have been made with all candidates on the ballot. Or just don't ask. Another one said, how on earth is it a ballot if you've already recommended the candidates beforehand? This is what we call Labour democracy. And it kind of worked quite well in the Soviet Union. Now they're trying to do the same here. So it's again, I think I mentioned this a few times before. I disagree with George Galloway on a number of issues, but he every now and then he says something that I'm like, I kind of agree with that. He made a comment about the Labour leadership again, and just listen to this.
It's a donkey derby, but the Sir Keir Starmer, I'm sure, will win because he's the new Blair, and Blair was quote-unquote a winner, and these fools think that that trick can be repeated again, and I'm sure they're going to pick him.
Well, let's see if he's right or wrong. I still can't tell if it's going to be Keir Starmer or Rebecca Long Bailey. It's going to be a weird election. It's a weird party anyway, so we'll see how that goes. But let's move on to the European Union. Our beloved union in the continent of Europe. Literally anything that they see, they try to ban. Their new target is tattoos. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of tattoos myself, but I appreciate the art and some people have them. They're going after tattoos, specifically blue and green inks. Yeah. So according to a German website, OE24, there's a report that shows that the European Union are now seeking to ban tattoos that have green and blue in them, because the colours are no longer permitted by the European Chemicals Agency. They're trying to ban this immediately, but also they are considering to even basically focus to ban black contours as well. So that could basically apply to any tattoo in general in the future, but they're going to start with blue and green. They're going to go through all the colors and then eventually black. And you think this is bad? It's not just tattoos. They're also going after phone chargers. So a lot of phone companies are now, when you buy a phone, they also give out a free charger on the side, because phones are ridiculously poor these days when it comes to their battery. And the EU want to ban these extra free chargers. So the European Union, as we said, are now obviously going to ban these chargers. This is a move to essentially cut down on electrical waste, because apparently new phones are still compatible with all chargers. Now, you might think, oh, this is a good intention, we're going to cut down on waste. But this is the same European Union that wastes so much money on some absolutely ludicrous stuff for themselves and for the people at the top. Now they're going after ordinary people's chargers. So there are now just 3 chargers that are used by the majority of people compared to over 30 back in 2009. So yeah, this is the wonderful European Union. Everything's very happy, everything's very positive, everything's getting banned. So I am very glad that we're leaving. And some of you, I'm going to see you if you're watching this video before the party. Tonight we have our Brexit victory rally in London. So if you're watching this, I'll see you in a couple of hours. And for the rest of you, we are going to have more Brexit victory rallies and parties in the North and in the Midlands. And in the meantime, until we actually organise that, make sure that you check out our merchandise page. We have the new t-shirts, the UK Independence Day, 31st of January 2020. Check out the link, get your t-shirts, and wait for the parties, and wear the t-shirts when we organise a party, and we can all basically hang out and have a few drinks. And if you enjoy the content, if you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe and click on the bell next to it so you get notified. We release videos every day at 5:45 p.m. I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.
Circumstances, triumphalistic behaviour, festivals of Brexit and all the rest will simply make things worse. And the people who are feeling it worst are those citizens of the EU who live, work and take part.
you.